Welcome, welcome everyone. I don't know what Fry is doing. He's out with the young ferals, so I'm sure he will be escorted back into my room very shortly since he's really not supposed to be out on his own. Good evening, Christine and Jess and Shelby and everyone. I hope you have had a it's Tuesday. Of course, it's Tuesday. I know what day it is. I hate having Mondays off because then I'm thrown off and every day feels like a Monday. But we have some fun stories and some weird stories and all of the stories, as you can tell by all of the many, many, many tabs I have open. But my first one is something that I learned from this article. An American woman was very shocked after learning what British people call crossing guards. It was Monday of Tuesday, though, uh, one of our main systems went down at work that oh, no, no. I was if dragging butt can be an emotion, then that was what mine was today. Thank you, Slotty Pie, for joining over on, Rumble. I was like, "What's the green one called?" "Fry, do not bother the cat. You are going to get your hind end kicked." An American woman has revealed the common British and Australian phrase that shocked her to learn in a hilarious video. TikTok user Monica Patterson explained in a viral video over the weekend that there's not many things that can shock me anymore. I saw a video today and consider myself very, very, very shocked, she said in the clip, which you won't be able to hear, so I will read for you, which has been viewed 1.6 million times. I've been dating my British husband for over 8 years, married for two, and only today did I learn this. She then played another TikTok video from another user called Britton Tolford. The next time you hear a British person talking any kind of shit about Americans, any at all, ask them what this person's job title is. And apparently it's a crossing guard. And I did not know this, but apparently, Patterson showed the image to her husband, Sam, who replied, a lollipop lady?" The answer caused Patterson to lose it. She said, "No, it's not." "Why?" her husband asked. "That's called a lollipop lady. What if it's a man?" she said. "It's a lollipop man," he said. "You're lying," he said. And you are a terrible dumpster puppy. No, wrong way. Mo, learn directions. Yes, Fry being Fry. No, he insisted. "That's real?" she asked. Patterson said he didn't know what to say because I knew you'd laugh at me. "That's the cutest thing I'd ever heard," she said. How have I never heard that? The clip has attracted thousands of comments. "I'm Australian and I say lollipop lady too," one person said. "Leave our lollipop ladies alone. They're the sweetest people ever." I Yeah, we've called them crossing guards, but now I'm going to make I am look, when I become president of America, we're changing them to lollipop ladies because that is awesome. Uh, yeah, it says, "Leave our lollipop ladies alone. They're the sweetest people ever," another one said. One person suggested, "I think it's so children understand them. Go to the lollipop lady for safety." The clip also went viral after being reshared on X. "British people, is this true?" the user wrote. One person replied, "They say things like Avro and bangers and mash, so of course it's true." I think that's cute. I'm adopting it. We will no longer be rebellious, at least in saying cross guards. We will now forever call them lollipop people of the Lollipop Guild. In not so great news, a disembodied leg was found on a New York City subway track, sparking gruesome mystery, cops say. A disembodied human leg was found on the tracks between two Bronx subway station over the weekend as cops seek answers on the gruesome discovery, authorities said. The body part discovered just after 1 p.m. Saturday on Sir, whatever you are attempting to snort your way into, y I would do that, but our kids are just awful, and I don't wanna deal with teen drivers. Uh, let's see. Saturday on the road bend between 167th and 170th Street stops on the number 4 line, police said. This looks like the place one might find a leg. The NYPD could not confirm Monday morning who the leg belonged to or how a single limb ended up in the subway system. The leg was turned over to the city's medical examiner office for further investigation. That's the entire story. I'm sure that we'll hear more about the leg. New York, the gift that keeps on giving, although I think that this isn't from New York. A plane bound for New York City forced to make a mid-air U-turn after fire breaks out in a cockpit just minutes after takeoff. Mayday, mayday, mayday. You know, I'm glad we bailed out the airlines a couple years back. Seems like it's done us a world of good here lately. A New York City-bound flight was forced to make an emergency mid-air U-turn minutes after takeoff when the flight crew noticed a burnt electrical smell and spotted fire in the cockpit. The Endeavour Air jet took off from Toronto, Canada around 6:47 a.m. February 3rd with 74 people on board and was headed to JFK Airport in Queens when the terrifying incident occurred. Yeah, nothing like having to get a red-eye flight, well, early morning flight. Talk about a wake-up call. Look, y'all better give me, like, a free drink once we land or something, because Imma need a free drink once we land, okay? After that happens. Quote, "Hey, Toronto, departure, mayday, mayday, mayday," the pilot frantically told an traffic controller as he noticed sparks flying from the jet's windshield while climbing to peak altitude, according to audio recently shared on YouTube. This is Endeavor 4826 declaring an emergency. Just had a fire, a spark up, an electrical fire up in the cockpit. Looks like it's out currently, the pilot then says more calmly, requesting return back to Toronto immediately. The air traffic controller acknowledges the pilot's request and instructs him to turn the Bombardier CRJ 900 around and start descending as he continues to ask the unidentified flyer questions such as how many people were on board. Yeah, I'm gonna need a new set of undies and a drink. Imma need that drink. I'm also gonna need a rental car because 'cause I'm not flying with you people ever again. The pilot replies that there are 74 souls aboard. Oh, hell no, you better not be talking about my soul. Giblets. And 9,000 pounds of fuel. When the air traffic controller asks if is any hazardous cargo on the plane, the pilot says there is not, as far as we know. It's a good thing that they don't broadcast these, recordings as they're happening because Mo would become a practicing Catholic again, and I would go full Latin, and I don't know Latin, but I'd become hysterically, canonically Latin. I don't even know that's not even a thing, that's not what I would get hysterically fluently Latin, and then I would start just last rites for all of us, or depending on what kinda day I had, I'd be like, "Bring it on." It really depends on what kinda day. Moments later, the pilot can be heard telling another airport official that the fire appears to be out. We had a spark up and a flare up on our windshield, but it looks like it appears to be out, he said. We should be able to exit the runway, but we'll have fire trucks take us all the way to the gate. The pilot was instructed to fly into the airport, and flight trajectory showed that the plane turn around. As the jet started to descend, the air traffic controller can be heard telling the pilot details about wind speed and adds, the fire vehicles are on standby. They will follow you down the runway. Any other pertinent information? The pilot then reiterates, we did have an electrical fire. Looks like the windshield heater sparked up. That fire is out now, he said. We haven't canceled the emergency yet. Once the plane landed safely 25 minutes after it took off, the pilot told the operator of the ground vehicle, there was an electric fire on the captain's side windshield here. We did not expect there was anything on the outside. It went out within approximately 30 seconds, the pilot noted, adding he didn't suspect there would be any damage but welcomed the firefighters on board to inspect the vehicle anyway. A few minutes later, a ground vehicle official is heard saying, everything checks out okay. You're welcome to go to the gate. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada released a statement after saying the flight crew noticed, okay, for the love of bureaucracy, it's the same damn thing 18 times. I I would be so bored. It's a lot of numbers, and numbers are, unless I see them on a paper, if I hear them, they tend to, unless I write them down immediately, kind of jumble all around. So, no, it just always made me a bit confused. But everyone was okay, and I'm hoping that they all got a good old giant drink, because 'cause I'd need it, all of them. A wild brawl breaks out in a Texas A&M comm incarnate, world word handshake lines. I have no idea what this is. I'm not really a, sports ball person, but I know some people are. So, a chaotic scene marred what had been an exciting basketball game between Texas A&M Commerce and Incarnate Word. Punches were thrown and a wild brawl broke out after Texas A&M Commerce defeated Incarnate Word in a 6 or 76 to 72 in overtime on Monday night. The fisticuffs appeared to break out during the handshake line when the game was over. Well, I mean, do we really have to always shake the douche's hands? I mean, look, some people are just jerks. Right. Is that it? Why do you have an apple core? Fry. Where did you get an apple? He says, one of your children. You should really take care of your children, ma'am. It's unclear what sparked the fight, which lasted roughly 2 minutes as coaches for both teams attempted to gain control of the situation. I mean, they could have just billed it as, basketball and MMA, but I'm thinking market opportunities. Several Incarnate Word players looked as though they had started to make their way to the locker room when they bolted back toward the bench area as the scene began to unfold. Yes, well, it does say well, it does. Yeah, well, that's why I was like, they had a word handshake? And then let's see, punches began to fly as the 2 teams brawled near the bench area as a fight then spilled onto the center of the court. Well, just say it's rugby. Uh, a full team fight, coaches are in the middle of it, one of the ESPN plus the Ocho's, broadcaster said, "I wouldn't be surprised if someone got a nick on the face there. This is not what you wanna see after it's been a great game," the other added. We've got everything going on right now." Right, seriously? You just my bed. He's like, "Yes, mom. This is my bed. It fits me. I is a giant dumpster puppy." A separate scuffle broke out away from the main scrum, which then sent players from both sides to scurry over in order to help their respective teammates. Well, see, it's all about helping your teammates. At one point, getting dangerously close to the stand where spectators had still been sitting, one announcer said during the broadcast that someone in the crowd had been hurt and hit. However, it's not abundantly clear in the video when or if that occurred. She then describes a young girl had been hit, and another broadcaster then adds that one of the team's managers had blood on his face. Fry, you're not supposed to be on my bed. We've had this talk before. Oh, for the love of all that is hope. Wrong way. Fry, what are you doing? Eventually, order was restored and they were able to get both teams into their locker rooms. There will surely be some hefty fines assessed for the players on both sides in the Southland Conference showdown. Well, there you go. Someone just is not having a good day and or cannot learn from bad choices. Attorney arrested for DUI twice in a 6-hour period, just months ahead of a federal human trafficking case. An attorney in Arkansas is facing legal difficulties after he was arrested for allegedly driving a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol last week, 2 times in the same evening. Brian D. Donaldson was taken into custody twice on Friday and charged each time with 1 count of driving while intoxicated and 1 count of refusal to submit to a chemical test, records reviewed by Law and Crime show. Donaldson, a former defense attorney, had his law license suspended in 2021. I can't imagine why, sir. You seem to make the best choices ever. No, Slinky, damn it, damn it, damn it. Sorry, you guys. Sad news. They found the body of Audrey Cunningham, the little girl that went missing in Texas in the Trinity River today. Suspect in custody and charged with capital murder. Ugh. All right, it's been 20 minutes in. Cover your delicate ears if you have them. But if ever there was a male thunder cunt, this douche would be at one. So now, if I had looked up this suspected person, if it's the same sort of gingery looking guy that, looked like he shouldn't be around children. I think he had a history of not being he shouldn't be around children. Actually, let's look this. I'm sure this'll be front. Alright, we'll go over to this. Missing 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham found passed away in Texas River, authorities. Body of missing 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham was found in Texas River Tuesday afternoon, 6 days after a desperate search for her began, authorities said. The slain girl vanished Thursday after she failed to get on a school bus near her Livingston home, and her body was found in the Trinity River, Polk County officials said. The man who was last seen with her, Don McDougal, is expected to face capital murder charge in the case, they added. I no, I don't want this to pop up right now. I would like to read. My heart aches with this news, Polk County Sheriff Byron Lyons said during a news conference streamed by KHOU, and I express my deepest sympathies and condolences to everyone who knew, who cared for, and who loved Audrey. Polk County District Attorney Shelley Bush Sitton said an arrest warrant for capital murder will be leveled against McDougal, who was taken into custody on an unrelated charge Friday as a person of interest in Cunningham's case. Quote, I understand that this is a very difficult time for Audrey's family and our community, the prosecutor said. Black. McDougal, 42, became a recent friend of Cunningham's family and lived behind the house where the girl resided with her father and grandmother, Sheriff Lyons previously said. He would occasionally walk Cunningham to the bus stop and at times even took her to school when she missed the bus, Lyons said. Uh, McDougal also had a past criminal history that involved another young girl more than a decade ago, but was not a registered offender. The sheriff said the investigation into the now murder case would be ongoing. A cause of death was not revealed Tuesdays as officials will wait for a report from the, coroner and all that. Cell phone, analysis, video footage, and information from McDougal helped lead investigators to the grim discovery, Lyons said. We are still processing mounds and mounds of information and data, he added. So, and off topic, but yes, thank you for everyone who does care for our family members. Uh, and yeah, as someone who's, seen family members struggle to care for, family members dealing with, dementia and other things. It's such a difficult thing to deal with. It's such a difficult and hard thing. So thank you for everyone who does that as a career and as a job. Eh, absolutely no. And especially not someone who looks like this. I'm sorry, dudes. I'm most dudes are good people. But, sir, I am profiling the hell out of you. You are not coming anywhere near my kids. Allegedly. Ugh, I hate I mean, we must remember that he is at least afforded the possibility look, he is Adam Montgomery levels of innocent right now, meaning that we have to at least presume we have to let the state meet their burden of proof, okay? We have to we are allowed to judge him. The state better not cock this up. Texas, Imma need you to do your best on this, and if we could get some shock shackles, asking for a country. Thank you muchly. Back to this idjit. Damn it. Ugh, I was hoping we would find her too, cause nuts. Uh, well, this guy did he used to be a defense attorney, but he had his law license suspended in 2021 when he was arrested and charged in connection with a human trafficking case, which is still pending in federal court. According to a report from WMC, the NBC affiliate with Memphis, Tennessee, some 8 miles east of West Memphis, Arkansas. Fry, where did you go? Fry, he's in his den. He's under the bed. Which means he's probably got the apple that he's not supposed to have, so he's under the bed gnawing on it since it's harder for me to get down and corral him under the bed. So, he and the youngest, most feral have, figured out that it takes mom a little bit longer these days to bend down, get on my knees, and then get under the bed to try to figure out what the hell they're doing so they can, quickly secret whatever they're not doing nothing with, and, you know, it the youngest, most feral has taught Fry badness. This guy was first pulled over by deputies at 4:07 PM on Saturday, and he was booked into the jail for DUI for refusing to submit to a blood alcohol content test. He was released 2 hours later. Now, being a connoisseur of that you do, Texas, and Slinky, Imma hold Texas to it. I really am. But, being a connoisseur of the body, camera, weird drunk people doing weird stuff, generally, when you're booked in on a DUI, they release you to someone who is not drunk, and they have to take, like, babysitting stuff. Uh, they have to sign something that says they are legally liable if you drive another car or you try to do anything else stupid, and generally, because they have signed a liability paper, they will sit on your dumb butt until you are no longer a danger to yourself. So, he was released at around, 5:42 PM, but 6 hours later, Donaldson was again in his cups and back to driving. At about 9:59 PM that same Saturday, Donaldson was booked back to the same county jail for the second time on the same charges. He was released Sunday morning at 3 a.m. How do you how? How do you double DUI on the same night? I mean, I don't know if that's a talent per se. While the suspended attorney's double DUI charges are certainly serious, they're not nearly as consequential as the federal charges he is currently facing. Donaldson, in October 2021, was charged in the Eastern District of Arkansas with 2 counts of trafficking and 1 count of a conspiracy to commit trafficking, all of which are felonies, court documents. Thank you, Rossman. All of which are felonies, court documents show. In the indictment, prosecutors allege that Donaldson knowingly used interstate commerce to, quote, recruit, entice, harbor, transport, provide, obtain, advertise, maintain, patronize, and solicit a girl he knew was a minor for grossness. Uh, Further, it is alleged that he knew and disregarded the fact that the minor was being forced to engage in these acts by means of force, threat, fraud, coercion, or any combination of the such. Ew, sir. S- y- I'm going to have to add one for Scorpion Island. I'm going to have, Spider Island and Mouse Island. Freaking Snake Island. I mean, the snakes are going to get pissed off at me. They're going to get all obese and stuff. There's only so many people that one can eat as a snake. U.S. District Court Judge Brian S. Miller in December denied a request from Donaldson to dismiss the charges against him in the federal criminal case. Good on you, Judge Miller. That trial is currently scheduled to begin on May 6, 2024. Ew, sir. Ew. Just terrible. I don't know that what this is, but let's learn about it together. Girl dinner was just added to dictionary.com. What is it? I mean, at this point, it looks like what you eat when you're pregnant and or possibly have the munchies. Uh, Girl dinner is here to stay, according to dictionary.com. The term popularized by a TikTok trend. Oh, that means it might be all the stupid. Anything that comes from TikTok may be sus. Uh, Made the list of new entries announced on Tuesday. It's one of the hundreds of words and terms added, many of which were inspired by internet culture. Dictionary.com now defines girl dinner as a noun referring to uh, attractively presented collections of snacks that involve little preparation, such as small quantities of cold cuts, cheese, fruit, cherry tomatoes, etc., deemed sufficient to to constitute a meal for one. But where did the term actually come from? Here's what to know. What is girl dinner? The food reference originated on TikTok in a video by Olivia Marr posted in May 2023. The creator used the term to describe her spread of cheeses, bread, grapes, and whatever this word is. uh, that video has since inspired countless recreations under the hashtag girl dinner and even a musical jingle by another creator that has been used in over 428,000 TikTok videos. While her original video characterized her snack style meal was all in good fun, Mar has now seen or has seen how the trend has gotten carried away. Some critics have said that girl dinner concept acts as a bridge to dangerous eating habits. Quote, I totally hear where people are coming from, Merritt tells Yahoo Life, but she stands by her creation as one that comes from a love of food, not a way to glamorize restriction. Instead, she says girl dinner is about a celebration of food and appreciation and excitement because you're eating exactly what you want and you're satisfying all the flavors you're craving, she says. Yes, Fry. What? The origins of the trend. Mar found herself, quote, nibbling on bits from my fridge when she decided to post a video on TikTok about it. It's something we've all done without knowing that we do it, she said of the assembled meal. We've just been doing it privately in our homes alone. Being alone is part of the experience, Mare explains, noting that the snack plate variation is what she'll eat when her boyfriend is out of the house in an effort to save time on preparing dinner. I don't need it to make meat and vegetables and starch or whatever. I'm not going to get something big, she says. I'm just gonna like eat whatever I can find, like hunt and gather from my own kitchen. Why it went viral. While girl dinner might be a convenient solo dinner, Mars says it's also something that people can uh, be excited about eating, particularly because it rids the person of any expectation to put something more elaborate on and instead just eat what they need and want to. Brenna O'Malley, a registered dietitian and founder of Wellful, agrees that uh, part of the meal's appeal. It's almost like a pseudo pushing against the idea that you need to have your meal look a certain way. She tells, "Okay, it's it's a freaking don't doesn't everyone do this? I mean, we just did this and didn't have a fancy name for it. Look, all moms and single people have been here where you're like, "I am not just cooking for me." It you know, it it yeah, I mean, or if you're me, you're just like, "Hey, I can take down a box of frosted mini wheats myself, and if I, eat them directly from the box, then really, I've saved the middleman of having to even dirty dishes." It's an adult Lunchable. We've just daggone it, you kids these days having to make everything all freaking extra and specials. Hello, cool gamer. Oh, I'm sorry, Squid Pro Quo. Now you're sick? No good. Girl dinner is Merkin? Probably. Probably my husband too. My husband would be like, "That's a snack plate. What's dinner? That's a snack." Doo-doo-doo. Cyclists fight off a cougar in a rare attack east of Seattle that leaves a woman injured. There you go. See, there you go. Add wine and it's all classy and crap. Add wine to that and it's all classy and crap. A group of cyclists east of Seattle fended off a cougar in a rare attack over the weekend that left a woman with injuries to her neck and face. Yeah, no, authorities said. The injured cyclist, identified by the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife as an adult woman, is in stable condition. The animal attacked the woman who was riding in a group of 5 cyclists on Saturday shortly before 1 p.m. near Fall City, about 25 miles east of Seattle, the department said in a news release. They did struggle with this animal, Carlo Peace, an officer with the Department of Fish and Wildlife, told NBC affiliate KING TV of Seattle. They did fight back. If it weren't for these people, the lady that was attacked would have been in much worse shape. People the group was riding near a creek that Pace described as the animal's natural place to follow prey. Look, I don't know if any I would if you have ever been stuck behind cyclists on a curve and you know you're on a curve and you're going up a hill, but the jackass cyclist is like, "Come on aside." And you're like, "No, I'm not gonna go up a blind hill and a curve and pass into across double lines. I have seen Final Destination. No, this is not happening." I'm just saying, we have all had the thoughts that this cat has had when seeing a cyclist. We don't act on those thoughts, and the cat is just a, cat. But I'm just saying, we've all had these thoughts, or maybe just me. Look, if you live in the country, we are beset with cyclists when the weather is nice. Just herds of cyclists in their spandex just annoying the hell out of me as I'm just trying to drive my ass to the mire. Well, Seattle isn't the country, but my irritation with cyclists comes from being in the country and them always wanting to come to my neck of the woods because we have hills. Right, stop, you dingus. Uh, these bicyclists happen to be in that place, pace added at the wrong time. Animals typically stay away from people, he said. In the last century, there have been 22 cougar attacks in Washington state, including two that were fatal, the station reported. The department said officers removed a 75-pound cougar from the scene. The release did not provide more details about the animal or its death, but noted the animal's body was being sent to a local university lab for examination. The department expects to learn the cougar's age, body condition, and whether it had a disease, the release said. Witnesses in the area saw a second cougar run through the scene. The department said officers failed to locate the animal during a search. Well, that's good. Truth. Both will turn on you and will choose violence first. In sad news for metalheads in Brooklyn, iconic Brooklyn metal bar Saint Vitus, sorry, I can't say words, shuttered over building violation. Really, New York? Y'all have cracks that you can see through down to, like, subway tunnels, but you wanna get upset with someone over a building violation? Okay. We're shell-shocked. An iconic Brooklyn venue that has become a staple of the city's once vibrant hardcore music scene has been shuttered indefinitely after building department inspectors slapped it with a violation Friday night during a live band's show. St. Vitus Bar in Greenpoint shut down in the middle of a set by hardcore band Mindforce, with staff ushering patrons and band members out after building inspectors found it was illegally operating as a bar. I mean, it's a bar. Okay. We're shell-shocked, one of the owners told a Post reporter who knocked on the establishment's door Monday. "We've been here 13 years, so we're still processing, but we're trying to expedite everything." The bar owner, who declined to give his name, said he and his partners were working with the proper authorities to get the beloved venue back up and running as soon as possible. Well, that's good. To be well, I try once in a while. Uh, Quote, "We're saddened and deeply frustrated by circumstances and are working to remedy the situation as fast as we can," St. Vitus Bar later posted on its Instagram. "The closure is temporary, but we want to address everything that directly affects our community of artists and fan alike." A slew of bands who had upcoming performances at the Manhattan venue probably let's see. A slew of bands who had upcoming performances at the Manhattan Avenue Bar were left scrambling to find new avenues to switch their shows to. St. Vitus staff have been helping the bands to book new venues and assisting ticket holders. Building inspectors showed up Friday night in response to more than a dozen 311 complaints and found out at least 250 people were in the space, said a spokesperson for the NYC Buildings Department. The inspectors determined that the bar was illegally operating as an eating and drinking establishment when the building's certificate of occupancy designated the space only for a commercial store and for the storage of machinery. Who narked? I- Who is the who are the dozens of people that narked? You are terrible. The DOB issued the business a violation and noted it did not issue any vacate order. Quote, "As a result of our inspection, we issued a violation to the property owner for operating an unpermitted place of assembly contrary to the legal occupancy of the building," a spokesperson for the department told the Post. "During our inspection, DOB did not issue a vacate order of the building. The building can still be occupied." They did issue it a violation for the same issue in July, but the property owners never corrected the issue, according to the department. Well, they're metal. Metal doesn't go by the government's rules the first time. Online building records show 16 complained about the bar's lack of proper certificate of occupancy dating back to May. Okay, well, the first 15, 14. Math. We don't do those things. Though all the complaints appear to be coming from one person. Who in the insufferable, you know, Miss Kravitz is that one person? I will continue to make this complaint on a daily basis until either the Department of Building performs an inspection or until St. Vitus Bar can remedy their situation, several of the complaints state. Wow. A neighboring business owner told the Post she suspects that the complainant was annoyed by the venue's loud music and its customers who sometimes crowd the sidewalk, smoke weed, and leave trash behind. At a heavy metal bar? At a heavy metal bar? The Noive. But another neighbor said the typical crowd who attends shows at the venue are a harmless and accepting bunch despite their hardcore looks. Quote, "I've seen all kinds of punks and weirdos at it, even if they look like they might be weirdos. You look closer, they may have trans lives matter patches," she said. Well, there you go. Rita, 44, who owns a store nearby and declined to provide her last name, she's probably a snitch, said she had no problem with the bar other than its patrons sometimes blocking the door to her business. The security guards outside always watched out for us and would say, "Hey, watch out for that door and keep them from blocking our storefront," she said. "Okay, I take it back, Rita, you're not the snitch." She learned St. Vincent's Bar had shuttered when she came into work Monday. "It's sad to hear," Rita said. "That's not my type of music, but people actually enjoy it, so it's sad." "Hey, stop, dingus." The owner is super nice. He doesn't look like a troublemaker. She said she doesn't know who called on the bar, but added that there are apartments with tenants right above the loud music venue in the same building. Okay, those might be the ones. Uh, Other Greenpoint residents told the Post they were disappointed by the bar's temporary closing. A 36-year-old neighbor who's lived in the neighborhood for 5 years and been to shows at the bar said the violation sounds like some BS. "When they open back up, and they probably will, I'll have to go to a show again," he said. City Council member Keith Powers said he's been in touch with the bar's owners to help them sort through the paperwork issues. "One of the best independent music venues in New York City," he said it in a statement. "We're going to fight to keep it open." Well, there you go. So, sad, sad, sad news, and rest in peace, Audrey, and I hope that her family is getting all the support and kindness and love that they need. I can't imagine what they're going through, and, it's because we have to go through stories like that, that I do Newsy News because, you know, unfortunately, there are the stories. Where did I put that? I thought I had that, or did I? I'm trying to find where I put it. It's because we have to cover, stories like this sometimes, and I'm sure that we'll cover this case once it comes out, that I do Newsy News because, when we do trials, we don't always get to see the best of humanity. In fact, we don't. Oh, yeah. We do have to name my chatters, and Fry wants his own tab too. Well, I only have 873,000 open, plus the couple that are frozen in my brain. You know, Newsy News was kind of born because of the fact that we need some fun, absurdist, weird news that we can cover and look at things and point and giggle because, covering trial dependers? I will let you all mobsters might be a good one. I've heard of mofos and then motivators as I will let you guys talk amongst yourselves. I am the derp end. I am going to redirect you guys to Shizzy. I am going to take Frybert out for his last, time to go outside and use the potty, and then I will be on where we will, maybe lightly scratch on the Sadie interview. Fry's like, "Shut up talking, ma'am. I need to go pee." So I will let you guys, talk amongst yourselves, and you guys can figure that out. I'm sending you over to Shizzy. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for, indulging my habit of finding weird news with me like old friends so we can have good stories when sometimes these sad stories come up too. Bye guys. Okay, Fry. Yes, I know. You would really like to go